Okay, hello everyone, people in the 5 continents. Today we have another edition of our international meetings. And this morning we have Mr. Abou Kassoum from Ivory Coast, but living in Colombia. Hello, dear Abou.
Hello, dear Jaime. Thank you for
Hello,
having me
hello.
here.
Thank you for accepting our invitation to be with us this morning and for sharing part of your time on a Sunday morning. Well, this is our 107th International English Online meeting, September 24, 2023. If anybody wants to contact me to present next year, this is my WhatsApp number. And if you want to watch the previous presentations, you can find them in our YouTube channel. So who are our next speakers? On October the 8th, we have Mark Dorr. He will be talking about feeling comfortable and having fun with STEAM and STEM. Then we'll have October the 22nd. We don't know yet because I'm traveling that day. I'll be in Guadalajara, Mexico, but she will be presenting ChatGPT in education. Then our good friend Randall Davis from the USA, on November the 12th, he will be talking about artificial intelligence. He hasn't told me the exact topic yet, but that is something really, really important. Then our good friend from Cameroon, Dr. Damaris Hatbech, she will be talking about language use in the EFL classroom conflict situations. Our good friend Marco Savera from Peru, on December the 10th, he will be talking about training, skillfulness, but effectiveness. And finally, I'm sorry, Raj, I didn't put your photograph yet. I haven't done it yet, but we will be celebrating life, love, and friendship, talking about Christmas, New Year's Eve, and New Year's resolution. Debra Suarez from the USA, Mary Scholl from the USA and Costa Rica, Raj Gill from Canada, Isabel Tapja from Peru, Rana Bilal from England, and our good friend Denis Montaño from Ecuador. Well, who is our speaker today? Mr. Abou Kassoum from Ivory Coast. Abou is an international speaker, author, coach, who is passionate about helping others to reinvent themselves through corporate and academic consulting and training. He believes in the unlimited power that each person has to learn, lead, and thrive in a world based on the concept of global economy. Formerly, Abou worked at La Savannah University as a French teacher, bonjour monsieur, in the Department of Foreign Languages and Culture. Then he joined the International School of Economics and Administrative Sciences of the same university, where he worked as a professor of marketing and corporate social responsibility, marketing and sales management, and fundamentals of marketing. So we can talk about business between Peru and Colombia, my dear Abou. Abou is also former professor of marketing fundamentals and marketing and sales management at Colegio de Estudios Superiores de Administración in the beautiful Bogotá. Finally, he's the author of The Habits of Successful Students, a book that he wrote to share some tips and workshops with learners and educators as well in order to increase their performance and boost their studies. Abou holds a Bachelor of Sociology and a Master's of Marketing Management, and he speaks hola la, bonjour monsieur once again, French, English, and Spanish. Que bien, muy bien, Abou. So this is our good friend, Abou from Ivory Coast, and welcome to our 107th international meeting. So the screen is all yours, dear Abou.
Thank you so much, my friend Jaime, and thank you for having me here. This is a great honor to be here, not only to share what I have, but also to learn from you, because each one of us, we have different knowledge, different skills, different experiences that are really important for all of us that when we come here. So this is a platform where I believe that we have the opportunity to not only share some content that are going to allow us to perform our duties as university professors, high school professors, or whatever we are doing. So basically, I used to say that this is not a platform for, let's say, for only language teachers, but it's a platform for everybody, every single educator that we have, parents, even professionals that are working in companies and so on. So basically, I'm going to share my screen with you. And we are going to go through the different information. So feel free to share whatever you have. If you have another experience according to what I'm trying to share or what I'm saying, please feel free to do that, because this is as we used to say, this is a platform where we need to find out how we can help each other, right? So I'm not an expert actually. So I'm just here to share what I have, all right? So welcome, and actually we want to discuss a few topics. Jaime already did my presentation, so thank you. So currently I still working in academics in El Salvador, where I'm teaching international strategic marketing for masters in Universidad Católica in Santa Ana. So so our topic today that we are going to discuss is this one. So the teacher as a protagonist of the student success. So how do we become the leading edge and effectively play our character or our role? So the question that I have for you is that when somebody says this person is a protagonist, what do you think about, or what is a protagonist in something, in a movie or in a project or whatever you want to call it? How do you define protagonist? I want the session to be more interactive, right? So whenever you know something, whenever you want to share something, please feel free to do so.
Well, this is an interesting question, Abou, because I guess this is what all teachers think, that we are the principal characters in the classroom. But because of the evolution of education, I guess that the student now has a more important role even than the teacher himself. I don't know what Rache, Angelina, or Raj think.
Well, this is the teacher as the protagonist of their student's success, how to become the leading edge and effectively play your character. I think that the protagonist of the learning is a student. We have talked about that the traditional education in the past was that the teacher was a center and he was the authority in the classroom, and our students are the ones to just follow the instructions, write, but there was no interaction. So nowadays in this modern education, we have the students as the protagonists of the learning. So it means that we as teachers, we are the ones who prepare the land. We are the ones who prepare the path for those students to be successful in their lives. We prepare the strategies. So we implement in our classes the best technique, the best strategies for our students to become successful students. Yes, so we are the facilitators of the knowledge. So our students are the ones who create something new with the knowledge or with the learning or with the objective that the teacher has proposed for every single class. So nowadays we want students that interact in different scenarios, students that are leaders, students that can transform our world. So that's what I can say about who are the protagonists. The protagonists, the teachers of creating the best tools and strategies for the students, and the students who are the main protagonists of the learning, the ones who are going to create new things with the knowledge that we are providing. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Rache.
Thank you,
Raj,
Rache.
Raj, you want to say something?
Well, I think what lots has been said already. I appreciate how much detail there was. And I think the role of the educator or the teacher is changing so much. It was before, like the teacher had the big jug of water and the students were empty glasses and we would pour it. That role has changed so much. There's so much, yet the responsibility of learning lies with the teacher, because the administrator asks the teacher, how is it going? You know, so I just put those thoughts out there.
Thank you.
Great. Anyone else?
Yeah, we have Marina Alavi from Argentina too. Hello, Marina, welcome.
Oh,
hello, Marina.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for being here with us on a Sunday morning. Would you like to say something about this quote? The teacher as the protagonist.
Ask Abou because he knew me last week. I'm from the Catholic University from Cordoba, Argentina. I teach in a business school. I teach social responsibility and marketing and sustainability. So, and one of the things that I believe is that we transform the world and it's amazing the powerness that we have, and we didn't know sometimes, because the other day one of my students said, you know what, the idea that gave me for a business, I said I can do it, and I can do it with somebody else, and I'm going to earn this type of money and this quantity, and it's like, and I'm going to help this one and that one, and it's like, so I think that everybody is a self-learner, and we learn so much every day from our students too. So as Raj Jill said, is ability of your words, believe me, it's like that, but also is trying to create a passion in others, or trying to share our passion, and in this way motivate the others to do different things.
Thank you, Marina.
It's like in conversation that we guide. It's another way to teach.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your contribution. Okay, back to you, Abou.
Yeah, thank you for your different contributions. As you said, now the education system is really changing. So in the past, the teacher has to come with all the knowledge and share the knowledge. If it's a good knowledge or into bracket about knowledge, students have to consume that. Now we need to play our role as a facilitator. And at the same time, we still have that power to create a better future for those young people, or to create into bracket a bad future for those young people, right? So to mislead them, because basically as a marketing teacher living in Latin America, and I'm going to share probably about international marketing, and I'm going to say, hey, I'm the one who was living in India doing international marketing, or I'm the one who was in Russia doing this, right? They are going to believe in that, and I can mislead them easily. So our role is to find out how can we lead those young people on the right path, and to make sure that they are going to take advantage of the knowledge that we have, but at the same time, they have to learn between each other, right? So they have to learn from each other. So our objectives for today, we are going to learn about the common habits that are going to enhance or diminish our student performance in classroom. And we want to also own the tools that are going to enable us to increase our leadership, as Rache was saying, and management skills. So we want to find out what is a leadership, what is management, because basically this is what we need now as teachers. We don't need basically a teacher who knows everything to share, but we need to lead our classes, and we need to manage in the classroom environment. So in that way, our students are amazed, and they can learn from that, and they can become good people for the next generation, because those people that we have today are the ones who are going to become the next teachers, right? The next educators, the next researchers, and they are going to take our knowledge that we share with them as a bottom line to develop their different activities. But we have to know that now, at the same time you are sharing something in the classroom, they are over the phone or the computer, and they are investigating the information you are sharing. So basically, you can go through a kind of challenge with those young people because they are so smart into bracket, right? They are so connected, right? Compared to the previous generations that did not have access to all those devices. And we want to be able also to help our students to develop a clear vision of their future. So in terms of what are you, how do you see yourself within the next 5 years? Most of the time when you enter a classroom for the first moment and you ask people, students do not know what they are going to do in the next 5 years. He even doesn't know that he's going to graduate. So when you ask them, how do you see yourself within the next 5 years? He doesn't know, right? So means there is a problem. So you as a teacher, your role should be to help that person to have a kind of clarity of mind, understand that within 5 years you are going to graduate. So you see yourself, you should be probably seeing yourself as a professional now, or probably going through your master's, or probably already married if you want to get married with your family and so on. And we want to also make sure that we can help them prepare for the transition and also help them through the process. So those are the few things we want to share. But at the same time, this is not exhaustive, so we still have many things that we can go through. So basically, we are going to see the basic habits that we develop in the classroom as students, but that follow us also toward the professional world. And we as teachers, most of the time, we develop also those habits with them. So we are going to see them because basically they spend a lot of time with us more than their own parents. They spend 8 hours at least with us every single week. So within every 5 days, on the 7 days, those people spend 5 days with us, right? 8 hours. So before they get back home, parents are sleeping. So basically we are into bracket the parent for now, even though we don't have, probably most of us, we don't have children for now, but we play that role as parents, right? And we want to go through also the challenge that is time management. So how do we face different activities? Because most of the students work part-time and they study part-time, or we as teachers also, we have those challenges, right? So we teach at the same time, we do something else. We have our own project, we have our family to manage, and we have only 24 hours. So you spend 8 hours or 9 hours at the office. You have to sleep 8 hours. So you have only some 4 hours to spend, or some 6 hours, where you want to find out how you are going to manage those 4 hours, those 6 hours between socializing with your friends, taking care of your family, and so on. So we have so many challenges to go through. And most of the time, students get stuck. So they need us at that particular moment. So our role is now is becoming something else, far beyond teaching English, or far beyond teaching French, or far beyond teaching marketing. And we want to go through also the transition. So basically, how do we help them in the process to understand the process and also the system, how the system works, and how they can take advantage of that. Are we okay with this? Any contribution that somebody has over there? So whenever you have a contribution, please feel free to do so.
Okay, we will.
Yeah. So when somebody says habit, that person has a good habit or a bad habit, what are you thinking about? What is a habit for you?
Well, something that we usually do because we enjoy doing it, just like these Sunday meetings. But as you say, we have bad habits too. Spending too much time in front of a screen. It could be a laptop, a tablet, a computer, a telephone, TV. So nowadays, I would say that it's difficult to have good habits, especially for students. I don't know what Raj, Marina, Rache, or Milva Marcela, or Angelina, if they have something to say.
Anybody has something to say? So as Jaime is saying, basically it's something we are tied to, and it's really difficult to give up, right? So yeah. It can be good or bad. As he's saying, now we have so many bad habits, such as a subtle or regular tendency or practices, right? especially that is hard to give up. So it could be something good or something bad. But now we know that with cell phones, with all those devices in the classroom, it's difficult for a teacher to have a kind of into bracket control of the classroom. So now we want to find out how we are going to use all those resources to help them to learn instead of probably using them in a bad way, because the cell phone is not good, is not bad. It depends on how you use it. Similar to money, right?
Right.
So basically, go ahead, please.
Rache wants to say something. Sorry, Abou.
Yeah, go
on,
ahead, please.
Rache.
Yeah.
Yes, I like to say something about the habits. Well, so
Yes.
those are a set of actions that we implement in our daily lives. So if we talk about good habits, that is something that we have to develop from our students in every single day of our classes. And they are translated or interpreted as the routines. Because if we develop these good habits in our students, our classes are going to be effective. First of all, doing the social emotional approach of our students in every class. It's very important, you know, that after 2 years of pandemics, our students, we need to explore how our students feel. If they feel good, if they feel bad, if they feel sad, and letting them know that we are interested in how they feel. Yes, it's like preparing the land. It's like when we start, you know, planting a tree, what do we do first? We water. Yes, we water the soil, we put the seeds. It's exactly the same with our students, that we need to first explore how they feel through the emotions. After that we start, you know, with a routine of a video, saying hello to them, knowing how they have felt, knowing what are the things that they have done during the weekend. So I think that those are the kinds of habits that we have to try to implement in our daily life of classes. So our students feel motivated. You know, after that, our students are going to have high motivation to start with the learning. Otherwise, what will happen? We will have students who are in our classes, maybe sleepy, other ones not interested, not focused on the class. So it's very important that first of all, we explore their knowledge, we do the routines, activities, and also to remind them about the rules that we want them to follow during the classes. For example, the classroom language, in which our students have to apply the 100% of English. Yeah, so that is another kind of incentivization that we need to apply with our students. So I may say about that. I may say that the habits are related to that, and we can, you know, implement in our classes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you, dear Rache.
Yeah, Angie.
I have something to say. Last year I worked in Uzbekistan. It's Middle Asia, and I think that habits, it's not about acts, it's about lifestyle and traditions. And for example, my students sometimes had not some conditions at home to do homework, or have some traditions, some Muslim traditions, for instance, they can't do their homework before their because they had to do some housework and take care about their sisters and brothers, and they have some other national traditions and habits, and it's very important too in our global world now, I think.
Thank you so much, dear Angelina. Back to you, Abou.
Yeah, perfect. So actually, I think Angie and Rache already did what I prepared, which is amazing.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
which is amazing, right?
That should happen. That should always happen, Abou.
Yeah, exactly.
That our students or the audience know more than us.
Than us, exactly.
Yes.
That's why our role is changing now. So we are
Right.
not on the knowledge who has to teach, but they are the one. So we have to ask the right question, and the right answer is going to come, right?
Yeah.
Such as Angie and Rache are saying, such as the excuses. So basically, a student comes and say, hey, teacher, I couldn't do the homework because we didn't have internet in my house, or my computer was not working, or probably I don't know, in universities, we face those things a lot. So like, I broke up with my girlfriend or my boyfriend, so that's why I didn't do the homework. So this is a personal issue, right? So you take it from your personal issue to your professional, because you are getting prepared for your professional life, right? In terms of information, so how do you access to the information? So Angie said, we live in a world that is globalized. So now we have access to everything. You can stay in one place and do your stuff everywhere. So I can stay in Colombia and work in South Africa, or I can stay in South Africa and work in Australia, or from Australia, I can work in the US. So now we need to find out how we can have access to the information. So the right information, we have students coming for the exchange program and so on. So we need to approach those people, teachers, and find out what is going on in the country or in the continent. And those things are going to help us to learn more about what we want to know. Or how do we get prepared before we come to class? Now, you have economy, or you have physics. So how do you pack your bag to come to class? Because you have economics, you are not going to pack your bag with math, or you are not going to pack your bag with gastronomy or engineering. So you need to find out all those things are small habits that we start developing when we are studying, and they are going to follow us when we go to the professional life, right? What is your purpose? Why are you taking what you are taking, the subject that you are taking? Because most of the time, most of the students are going to join a classroom because probably the friend is going over there, or he has no idea what he's going to study. So his parents are going to say, hey, your uncle studied marketing and he's doing good, so you have to study marketing. But the student is going to join that marketing class is not passionate about that. It's just because he has no idea what he's going to do. That's why parents try to guide him toward that path. He's going there because the boyfriend or the girlfriend is going there. So he's going there. So he's going to join that particular person. And after 1, 2, 3 semesters, he thinks that this is not for me, right? And it affects them, right? So, and whenever it's affect them, they have to take it over again. It's going to affect also their own parents, because parents are the ones who are paying for the studies, right? And in terms of investment, so basically, how do you make sure that you are going to, let's say, update the information that you have, because the information is running fast, right? So what we knew yesterday, today probably it's obsolete. So we need to find out how do we update that information. And tomorrow, probably what we are saying here today, tomorrow is going to be like obsolete, right? So now we need to find out, what do we find those things? In books. We can read books. So I used to tell them, hey, if you don't have money to buy new books, I'm a writer. So if somebody is buying a new book, I'm happy, right? Because the editorial is going to call me to say, hey, they bought this amount of book, this is your money. But if you don't have money to buy new books in libraries and so on, just go and buy, second-hand book, right? Even third-hand book, it's the same information that you are going to find over there. Somebody read and that person is selling. So you find out. And Rachel was mentioning the rules and the policies that we have in universities and so on. So basically, the university or the high school or the institution has their own rule, but you as a teacher, when you come, because you are going to lead that class, right? And if you are going to lead that class, you need to make sure that you establish some rules that are going to allow you, not say to control the class, but to have a certain leadership in class in the way that your students are going to be able to learn from each other. Because the difficulties that we are facing now as teachers, since we have gone through that flipped classroom or this flipped learning, when another student is explaining an idea, another one can feel like, okay, this is just a student like me, so I don't know why I should pay attention to him, right? Now our role is to find out how we make sure that they follow what their friends are saying. Or failures. So basically, when we fail an exam, some students, instead of approaching the teacher to just ask for probably some reasons why, probably how did he understand the topic, probably to know why I failed. Do you have some advices for me? They come just to ask the teacher to increase the grade, not to learn from the failure. And this has happened with us also. We as professionals, when we fail, we don't try to assess ourselves to say, hey, I'm going to have a kind of, self-assessment. And from that self-assessment, I'm going to find out what is missing and how can I do better tomorrow. So our role is to help them to understand those different elements or professionalism. So how do you act in the professional way? Because from your studies, those things are going to follow you in your professional world. Now, as you see, I'm not talking about teaching business French. I'm not talking about teaching marketing, but all of us as teachers, as educators, we need all those things. And we start with us. We have to develop those mindsets in the classroom first before students follow our steps. Is it okay? Any contribution over there?
Well, let me read what Monica Vinuesa from Ecuador wrote in Facebook Live. She said, I love this meeting so far. So basic to remember we are language and culture. Habits plus meaning equals culture.
Thank you, Monica. And yeah, exactly. So as I was saying in the beginning, this is the purpose of those type of meetings. So we are here basically to learn from different parts and different knowledge and skills and so on. So basically, it's going to take us to this one. So when we want to explain what is a habit, so we explain it in the beginning. Jaime gave the information. So it's about the knowledge that we have, or let's say what we do and how we do it and why we do it. Those things are going to develop what we call habit. So it could be good or bad, right? So, but mainly it depends. Most of the time I used to say, hey, whenever I have a speaking opportunity with teachers or with students, basically we as teachers, we design the future of those young people because they learn from us, right? So me as a marketing teacher, I'm a role model for my student, right? Not the parent, because the dad is the accountant and probably the mom is probably a business owner, or the mom is something else, right? So she's engineer. So basically he's learning marketing. I'm the one who is going to role modeling that person to know that where he's heading to. So it's going to take us to the idea of time management. Time management, which is a crucial thing, a crucial topic and sensible topic that we face in general when we are developing our activities, but at the same time, we are planning for the future. But at the same time, we want to have a kind of balanced life between what we are doing as professional and what we are doing as a family member, or whatever you want to call it. So we are going to detect that time basically is something really important. Probably time is more important than money. And I can demonstrate that, right? So when we have something we want to do, basically we sell our time, right? We don't sell our knowledge. So when somebody says, hey, I'm looking for a marketing consultant, could you come to my company to give a training or a workshop to my employees? I'm going to discuss the price according to the time that I'm going to spend with them, not according to the marketing that I know. According to, so do you need 1 hour training? Okay, this is what it's going to cost you. Do you need 3 hours? Because it's about my time. So all those things are the one that I'm selling. So basically, time is really complex and difficult to understand, right? So my question for you is that what is time and how do you define it in your own words? And how do you explain time to the younger generations or others?
Well, that is a really challenging question, my dear Abou. It will take time to answer it.
I know, I know.
So what is time? My goodness, yeah. Is this a philosophy class? Well, I guess it's like the difference we have with tense, right? Because the present perfect tense, the simple past tense, but time is what we keep in our mind, what we develop or give to do some things. For some things, we give a lot of time, a lot of our presence, a lot of our attention, a lot of our desire to learn something, but things that are not relevant to us, we just give them short time. That would be little attention, little curiosity, just, well, you have made me think. I don't know if what I'm saying is right, but it's difficult to answer what is time. And how would you explain time to younger generations or others? Well, I leave that question to Rache, Angie. We have also Marina. We also have Plamen. Thank you from Canada, and also Milva, Marcela. I don't know if anybody else wants to say something else. Yeah, go on, Rache.
Okay, the time is what we devote for a set of activities that we have planned. Let's say, for example, in our weekly plan for a class, we have prepared a language arts class with a specific topic. So we start with a social emotional approach, and we demand, I don't know, maybe a couple of minutes for that activity. It depends on how, or the time of activity, the kind of activity that we develop. Then we have the anticipation, a specific time for the anticipation. Then we go on with the construction of the knowledge, and finally the consolidation. So we demand a specific time for each of these steps of the class. For example, in another activity, let's say I'm organizing with my teachers a talent show. So I have the talent show, I have the set of the presentations, and we have a specific time for each number. For example, for the number 1, the presentation of a dance. I will devote for the dance 2 minutes. So having this specification of the time in that program, I will know how much time I will demand for the whole program. So it's very important to specify the time for each activity, because that tells us how organized we are. And if our students are going to be able to develop the activities in the specific time that we have devoted.
Yeah, thank you so much, dear Rache. Anybody else, something to say briefly, please? Plamen, Raj, Milva, Marcela, or Angie?
Yes, hi, Jaime, everybody.
Yeah, go on, dear Plamen.
Thank you. So I was thinking that the perception of time is a highly subjective way of understanding what we come to know as social reality, right? And in the context of our classrooms, as I said, Jaime, it's also a combination of your attitude, because we choose to a lot more time, let's say, to certain activities. So in the context of our classes, we always have a plan. Let's say that our warm-up should take like 2 or 3 or 4 minutes, but in reality, it takes like 5 or 6 more minutes. So it's how you feel your class, is how you come to experience this notion of social reality. So these are my 2 cents.
Thank you so much, dear Plamen. Anybody else? Maybe Marina, Alavi? Or Alabi?
Yeah, it's Alabi. Thank you.
Alabi. Yeah, I just realized about the tilde.
I think both Rasha and Plamen are amazing explaining how is the construction of the class and the time. And I think if I need to say something, is like we need to have the capacity of being flexible and the resilience, because sometimes it's like, yes, I have my class, I have my structure, and also a good attitude. And sometimes it's like one of the students needs some specific thing, then you believe that could be the key for develop another topic with all the class. So you change at the same moment. That happened to me last week. So I open a video and I start talking about a different thing, all because one of the students says something and say, you know what, you need this one. Did you know this? No, I don't. So I think sometimes it's like that. You need to have the capability to change your class at the same moment that it happens.
Thank you so much, dear Marina. Thank you. Back to you, Abou.
Yeah, great. Thank you for your contributions. I love actually this presentation, and yeah, because you guys are doing the presentation for me, so I'm so happy for that, right?
So you're not working, Abou. That's
So
not
like,
fair.
yeah,
You're not working, Abou.
yeah, exactly.
He's guiding. He's guiding
Great. He's
with you.
facilitating. He's
I'm
Yeah.
facilitating.
facilitating. He's an
Exactly.
educator, not a teacher now.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, a literal definition of time could be like the fundamental concept that is designed as an infinite medium in which events follow like one another. And sometimes we consider as an external force, right? That is acting on us. As Flamen was saying, basically, its time is about feelings, right? It's about emotions. It's about state of mind. We are going to see that time is going to be different from one person to another, such as this. So somebody is going to see the time as a shorter, right? Because we have never enough of time to finish what we are doing. So somebody who is short of time is doing something, has to deliver probably a report by tomorrow, Monday, and he still has a lot of things to do. That person is going to see that the 24 hours that we have is really short, right? So he doesn't have enough of time to do so. While somebody who is happy is being celebrated probably today, that person doesn't want the time to go. So he feels like the time is going so fast, right? So, and at the same time, somebody who is probably suffering, they in the hospital, and the medical doctor say, hey, you are going to leave here tomorrow, so you have 24 hours to stay here. The person is going to feel like the 24 hours look like probably 24 days, right? While somebody who is happy is going to see like a 24 hours look like 24 minutes. So it's about feelings, it's about emotion, it's about state of mind. And time is the longest one, because before we come, time was existing, and we are going to go, time is going to still exist, right? So at the same time that we have those different elements, those different challenges with time, we need to understand, how do we understand how we face or how we deal with the different challenges that we have with our students? Because this is something we can keep, right? So I was, when I was introducing that part of the session, I was saying time is more important than money, right? If you have a certain amount of money in your bank account and you want to buy probably a car or motorcycle or whatever you want to call it, and when you check your bank account and you don't have that amount of money, you can say, hey, money, I don't have enough of you, so I can't buy that car, right? So car, you can wait, right? When I'm going to make enough of money, I'm going to buy you. But our time is 24 hours. It's flowing like a river. So we can't stop that time to say, hey, time, I'm going to do something, and when I come back, we are going to continue. No. If you waste 1 minute, that 1 minute is already gone, right? So you can't save it. At the same time, it's going to allow us also to reach our goals, and also to prioritize our activities, or also to remember some events that basically we have, right? So we have so many things to go through, and time basically is going to determine basically if we are successful in what we are doing or not. And we as educators, we as teachers, or we as whatever you want to call it, basically we deal with those type of things. We deal with a lot of those things, and probably it's going to affect our students for the better or for the worse. So here are some other questions. We want to see what we call time robbers, right? So in our daily life, basically, what are the potential behaviors that make us to spend poorly our time? Or what are the potential time robbers that we know? And yeah, I want to listen to you. So what are the behaviors that we develop that basically waste our time, into bracket?
Well,
Using social media a lot of the time, looking at Facebook or things like that.
Great, right. So social media, right? So we spend time over there. We don't know what we are looking for exactly, but we browse, right? It's like we are over there. We don't know what we are looking for exactly, right? Who else?
That's right.
There are so many things. Right?
Well, maybe watching films, because now we have so many channels, so many platforms that we don't know what to choose, what to see when we are stressed, when we are exhausted. So we just end up watching series. Well, I don't watch series, but my friends tell me they do spend a lot of time watching series and they cannot stop. They just go watching them over the night, the night. I don't know
Exactly.
if anybody has something else to say.
Yeah, Plamen says Netflix, right? So basically,
Sorry, I'm a person who actually likes to watch the same movie over and over again. But can I just maybe approach this question from a different point of view? Like, I would rather not think of this as a time robber, but maybe you choose to think of this as a time robber. So, for example, when I'm watching Netflix, I'm actually doing something else. So let's say that I'm marking some of my students' works, or I'm uploading materials to my learning management system. So it's not exactly spending time in I don't know, in a careless way, but I'm also choosing to do something else while I'm watching Netflix. So maybe that helps.
Multitasking.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, back to you, Abu.
Okay, so basically a few lists that we have with our time issues. Basically, we have things such as we don't have clear goals, right? So we don't know what we are going to do exactly. So we can reduce it to Facebook, as Raj was saying. So basically, when you go through Facebook, you have no goals. So some people use Facebook as their workplace, right? He's a social media manager and so on. So when he goes there, he knows that I'm going to log in and I have 8 hours to spend over there, and I have to publish things about the company that I'm managing their social networks. So that person is working over there. While most of us, we go over there, we have no idea what we are looking for, but we are over there, right? We are spending time browsing, gossiping, and so on, and so on, and so on. Desire to do everything at the same time. So multitasking. So basically, yeah, we have another perspective also from plumbing. So like basically, there is a possibility that you are going to probably that Netflix and you are doing something else. But at the same time, sometimes it can also affect our performance or how we do things, right? So it depends on the type of activity that you have to manage at that particular moment. And not knowing how to say no. So basically when somebody or the boss or whatever you want to call it say, hey, I want you to do this or to do that, and you want to do everything at the same time, probably it can affect also your different activities. You know you have some commitments, but at the same time, you are going to face those things, right? You want to do all of them. Or stress and fatigue, or probably you work all time, you don't take any break to rest and so on, or disorganized, right? Cell phones and too many parties. All those things are going to affect our time, and it's affect a lot our students. While you are explaining something, an experience or whatever you want you call it, and students are over the phone chatting with someone out there. So the person basically physically he's in the class, but his mind is outside. This is what it means. So if your teacher is talking in the class or your friend is talking in the class, and you are chatting with a friend outside, means you are outside, right? Because yeah, this is
outer space.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Things such as bus stops. So bus stop basically in undeveloped countries or developing countries, we face those types because we don't have like a normal plan. Say, hey, the bus is going to come at 9 o'clock. So you have to wait, and your time depends on when the bus is going to arrive, right? Or on television or internet or unnecessary discussion that most of the time we have, mainly men, right? Discussions such as who is the best player between Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi? And no, Messi is better than Ronaldo. No, Ronaldo is better. So we are going to spend 2 hours, 3 hours discussing about who is better. Both of them are making money, right? Better or not, they are making their money, they are living their life, and we spend our time to discuss.
And they don't care what we say.
They don't care about that, and it doesn't affect them also, right? Or visiting that we don't schedule, right? So on time, or difficulties to make decisions, or procrastinations. So I'm going to do it tomorrow. Then tomorrow you say I'm going to do it tomorrow. So tomorrow never comes, right? So
yeah.
What we have to basically, this is a workshop I love doing when I go to corporate world, and or when I'm with students also, and I'm discussing with them. So let's guess that we have 3 hours left, right, in the day, and you want to do all those things, or you have those things to do. How would you handle those different activities within 3 hours? Such as you want to go to the cinema, which is going to take 2 hours. You want to modify the grade of your student on the platform, which is going to be 15 minutes to do that. Meeting with your father, 45 minutes, and you have an appointment with somebody who wants to invest in your project, 25 minutes, and you want to chat with a friend over social networks or whatever you want to call it, 1 hour and half, and you want to take your son, your daughter, or your brother, or someone who is injured to the hospital, or you want to go to play tennis 1 hour, and you want to, so you have those different things. Is it possible to do it? It's not possible. Or how would you do it? I'm more interested in the how.
Well, I guess it depends on our priorities. As I usually tell my students when they complain about not having enough time, and I tell them, you have time, but what time do you go to bed? 2 o'clock in the morning. What time do you get up? 5. Well, you have 3 hours left to do something. But again, it depends of what our priority is. If we want to study, if we want to read, if we want to do homework, if we want to do something really relevant and important. I don't know if somebody else wants to say something, Marina. I guess you want to say something.
I'm with you, Jaime, because I think it's like that. It's prioritizing, and you need to decide. And I think we need to consider the pause to think what is the things that you need to finish or doing at that moment, and trying to recognize that you need to. I'm sorry, Abou, sometimes it's for tomorrow. Because yeah, sometimes it's like, I couldn't finish this, so it's going to be my first task in my morning, my next morning. But that's why you need to prioritize, because you didn't have the time, and you speak that you need to be flexible and resilient. So something changed in your lives during the day. So it's different. I think sometimes like that. And the other mistake I usually commit is I think that I can't do so many things in the day, and sometimes it's not, or the things change.
Yeah.
So you need to do it again.
Yeah. Thank you, Marina. And by the way, talking about time, Abou, we got 24 more minutes. Sorry. Just a reminder.
Okay, so we are going to try to accelerate. Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Then yeah.
Well, I totally agree with Jaime and also my colleague from Argentina.
Marina.
It's true that Marina. Okay, so I totally agree with both of you regarding the time and regarding by prioritizing. You know that our main enemy is the time. Yes, when we are not organized. So that's why we said to our colleagues, well, personally I said to my colleagues, if we don't organize our time, we will not be able to finish all of our tasks as teachers. So for that reason, it's very important that we don't become procrastinators, the ones that say, okay, tomorrow I will do what I have to do today. So it's better to organize according to our schedule or according to our agenda. Yes, what are the activities that we have from Monday to Friday, and what are the ones who need to be, handled very fast. So that's why it's very demanding from us to organize this time in order to go on with every set of activities. And we don't have to be doing, for example, like what I'm seeing here, a set of activities with a specific time. Because at the end, what will happen? At the end, we are going to be stressed out. And we know that we are suffering from what? From the burnout, right? So that's
Right.
something that we have to avoid as teachers, because at the end, that's what is gonna happen to all of us if we procrastinate and we leave everything for the next day, for the following day, and then all the things are accumulated. So now I have a pile of things that I have to do because I didn't organize my time. So I totally agree with having, the set of activities in order of priority in order to go on and not to suffer from stress.
Great.
Thank you, dear Rache. Okay, back to you, dear Abou.
Okay, so let's go a bit faster. We are going to accelerate a bit. Yeah, as I was saying, basically we have the time management matrix, right? Developed by Eisenhower, right? Which is one of the great tools to deal with those type of things. So those type of challenges, those type of activities. So we all face the time management issue. So basically, he designed this to say, hey, when the task is urgent and important, you have to make sure that you are going to execute the task right now, right? So you do it right now, you have to execute it. When the task is not urgent, but it's important, what do? You have to plan it. So you decide what is the best moment for me to discuss this, such as you have a discussion with your partner. You know that probably we have a discussion, we don't understand each other. So my wife is not understanding me and I'm not understanding my wife. So what do? Well, I understand that probably we are both stressed, actually. So is it possible to discuss tonight or tomorrow? And when everybody comes down, then we can discuss and we understand each other better to say, hey, I'm sorry because I misunderstood what you said. That's why we discussed. But if we are discussing and we want to discuss at the same time, we are going to generate more conflict and it's going to take us more time, right? When the task is not important, but it's urgent, so it doesn't require you to do so, what do? You have to delegate the task. So, hey, could you help me with this? Could you help me with that? And the task is not important, but not urgent. What do? Delay it, forget it. Such as those things, important and urgent means we are facing crisis. Such as my student who is having a challenge with their grade because I made a mistake when I was uploading that grade. So what do? I have to face that and I have to do this right now. Or such as that person say, hey, come to take the money to invest in your project. I'm traveling. So what do? You have to go and face that. Or your child that is suffering, say, hey, dad, I'm suffering, or mom, I'm suffering. You are not going to say, hey, I'm going to play tennis and when I come back, I'm going to take you to the hospital. So this is a crisis you have to face. Now, things that you don't make them urgent, but they are important, such as your life mission or purpose or vision or your goals, or you want to build a kind of, healthy relationship. What do? You need to plan them. You need to schedule. So for now, if you want to study a PhD, what you are going to do, you are not going to say, hey, this is something I have to do it right now, because you need to schedule when I'm going to, how much money I'm going to save, where I'm going to do that PhD, and so on and so on. It's really important, but it's not urgent that you do it right now. And things that are not are urgent but not important for you to do, what do? Ask someone to help you out. So to execute that task for you. Or things that are not necessary, what do? Cancel them, delay them, right? Such as if I was the person who had to deal with those different activities in 2 hours, 57 minutes, I could have to handle those activities that are important and urgent that we have over there. And things that are important but not urgent, I can schedule them, such as the meeting with my partner, such as meeting with my dad or my mom, such as I want to go to the cinema, and those type of things. I can schedule it for the right moment or the right time, into bracket, right? And things that are not important but they are urgent, I can ask someone to help me out to do so. And things that are not important, not urgent, please delay them and move on, right? Move to the and as we know, we want to manage a kind of lifetime agenda and so on. So basically, in the last book that I was writing and I started to think about, so such as our vision. So how do we create a vision? Because most of the time you ask people, how do you see yourself in 5 years or 10 years, and they have no idea what they are going to do, right? So basically, you need to establish that vision. It could be 1 year or 2 years or whatever you want to call it. And then you want to break that vision into small pieces, and those are the ones that are going to be your goals. So every single hour, the things, or every single minute or second, the things you are going to do are going to design that vision to become true, or you are going to miss that vision. So basically, what I call more or less time management revolution theory, such as we have to travel in the time to the future, and we have to come back to the present and start working on that particular plan to go toward that vision that we have. We know Pareto, right? So Pareto says basically all the things that we do, we use only 20% of our time to do all the important things that we do. So imagine that we can change the trend and use 80% of our time to be productive. We would, change that society for the better. And the last part, which is the transition, so which is a missing link between studies and the first or the next job opportunity for students. So how do we handle that transition? So how do we make sure that we can help our students understand how to prepare for that transition? Because if you wait, so students, most of the time they have to wait, and when they graduate, it's at that moment they are going to look for the first job opportunity, right? And there is a gap, because now you are going to have a social pressure. You are going to have the pressure from your family. Say, hey, now you graduate, and well, what next? So you are still living in our house. Conflicts are going to start arise, right? So basically, we want to find out how do we help them in the process, such as we want to understand what is their professional goals and what are their personal goals. And what we know is that professional goals, we need personal goals to compensate what is missing in our different goals. So basically, this is a simplified, let's say, personal and professional goals setting tools that I designed in one of the books, where I share about, hey, you want to become a journalist. So this is your professional goal. But as a professional, you want to be called journalist. So what are the different activities or the specific activity you should be doing, or what kind of training or support you need to do so? And how long do you want to learn that particular thing? And what is the result that you are expecting? But this is not enough, because a good journalist or a great journalist is the one that has a kind of good interpersonal relationship, or who has a kind of a great communication skills, and so on. So means personally, you need to work on those different skills that are going to allow you to be that great journalist. That's why you need also your personal goals. Say, hey, I want to develop my communication skills. Okay, what should I do? What kind of training do I need? And until when I should be doing that? And what are the results that I'm expecting, or the comment that I'm going to have at that particular moment? I can share those tools with you.
Please do.
And there is no problem for that. And we have also what I call the dashboard that is going to allow them to understand the system, because now we live in a system where Angie was saying that this is a globalized system where we need basically to understand what is going on, but we need to develop also some skills that we don't teach in classrooms, right? So the system says, hey, go to classroom, teach marketing. I go and I teach marketing and I leave. That's it, right? But the system doesn't say, hey, help them understand the soft skills that basically are called good skills or best skills or real skills that they need to perform their job as a marketer, right? So basically, we need to help them to have a kind of balance, because if they are affected with their family life, it's going to affect also their studies, or with their friends with who they are working. So those people affect them also. And the organizations where they are working or they are developing their activities. So most of the time I advise students to say, hey, if you have a kind of volunteering activity here, they are where you are going to learn all your skills that you are going to need in the professional world. So join those volunteering activities and work over there. Just do it. you are now, when you are going to join the professional world, you are going to discover that you have a lot of things that you learn when you were studying. So which is going to make the difference between you and other students, because actually what happens is that you as a student, basically you are going to graduate with that master's in marketing, and you are millions of people who are going to graduate with the master of marketing. But what is going to make the difference between you and the others? About those skills that you are going to acquire before you go to the professional world. So this is going to go through a process, which is we need to evaluate what is our current state or our student life, and then what is the desired professional life we need. And we advise those young people to say, hey, this is how we can go through the process. So create a vision. And then you have that vision, you need to have a kind of belief system that is going to allow you to follow the steps that are going to allow you, to achieve that goal or vision that you have. And then you need to take action. Most of the time we talk a lot, but we never take action. We as professionals, we do so. I want to write books. Most of the time when I meet people saying, what do you do? I'm a writer. Okay. So I have been thinking about writing books. I want to write books also. Okay. But when are you going to do it? Because basically you are waiting for the right moment, right? But the right moment will never come. So since the right moment will never come, what do? Just go through the process, start doing it, right? You never get ready. So you start doing it, and then at a certain moment, you are going to see that, okay, you made it, right? So a big warning that I have here is that we know that if we give a fish to someone, then we are going to feed that person for one day, right? But if we teach people how to fish, then we feed them for a lifetime. Which means we are not the one who are going to look for that job opportunity for them. So go to LinkedIn to look for the job opportunity to say, hey, Juan Camilo or Diana, I found that job opportunity. Send me your CV. I'm going to apply for you. No, we need to guide them, right? If we have a network or friends or so on, professional that say, hey, do you know someone, a student or someone over there that you can share the CV with me? Perfect, we do so. But we have to help them understand how the system works, and then how they can take advantage of those different things. Which is going to take us to the idea of being a great teacher. So as a great teacher, your role is going to be basically to understand leadership and management in classroom. How do you develop those leadership and management skills? Because we know that leadership is why we do what we do, right? So we are more oriented people. We talk about transformation. We talk about also how we lead those people through the path, and to make sure that they are understanding where we are heading to, so they have a vision, a clear vision of what we are doing here. And management is going to be about things that we are going to organize around that vision to make sure that we are going to achieve. So how do we make it happen? Means we are going to probably learn about gastronomy. So we said, hey, for the next class, each one should come with probably a certain recipe that you cook, or food, or whatever you want to call it. And then we are going to have a picnic. And then during that picnic, each one of you is going to explain the ingredient and the process of cooking that particular food, for example, which you as a teacher, you show them where to head to with that project, and how you are going to organize also the logistics and things around that activity to make it more dynamic. So when they live there, they are empowered with what you show them. So you as a great teacher, you are between leadership and management. You are not going to mislead or make the mistake to try to manage every single person. That's why most of the time in some classes, some teachers face difficulties with students, because they are trying to manage those people. And a person, you can't manage the person. You just have to lead the person, because your leadership style is to play the role as a role model and to provide guidance, where you are going to create that vision for the class, the goals, what we have to achieve in that class, and how I want the class to be like. So those people understand where we are heading to. And now when we are talking about management, we are talking about organizing, planning, executing, controlling, so such as finances or logistics or resources or project. So we talk about more things when we talk about management. this is a teacher. I'm fascinated about this woman, okay, Dr. Tatiana, the way she does her classes and make it too simple for even kids to understand where she's heading to with the class that she's leading. So we are going to watch only one video of her, and then we are going to move to the next step to close the session. Okay. Please let me know if you can hear the video.
Are you ready to do something?
Can you hear the video?
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
Stupid? Yeah. Build a house, and all I have is a piece of wood, a nail, and okay, let's do it. It's not a good hammer, no. What should I do? What is it? Banana girls and liquid nitrogen. Oh, look at this. Wow. Listen, listen, listen. I need to check something. Oh, now I take my nails and let's try. Look at this. Look. It's so, oh, it's just so hard. We can do that.
Okay, so actually, before we move to the next step, how do you feel if you were probably a kid and you were studying to have such kind of teacher in front of you leading the class? How would you feel? Probably you would feel you. Okay, how do you feel? Actually, I don't want to.
Before going on, Abou, just let me remind you, we've got 6 more minutes.
Perfect.
Okay,
great.
So how would I feel? I would feel curious, surprised, engaged, attracted, excited, motivated, everything. With a teacher like that, I learn anything.
Exactly, right? Who else? One last person.
Somebody else? There is a prize.
We will feel very inspired. Because if we have an inspirational teacher, everything can flow and the students can learn effectively.
Right. Exactly. So students can learn effectively and they are inspired. So basically our role as teachers now, we need to inspire, we need to empower them, right? We don't need to say, hey, physics. So you can take the same topic you give to another teacher and the way the person is going to teach that subject, students are going to sleep in class. Right, they are going to sleep. While you take the same, like in less than 5 seconds, she moved the class where students, all of them are contributing, all of them are showing what she should do. So we have banana. Okay, we can use the banana. What should we do? We have to freeze it. Students are the one who are answering. Freeze it. Where? Okay, you have to put in the liquid. Okay, the nitrogen, right? So we need to go the extra mile where we want to go beyond teaching to empowering those young people that we have the future in our hands. For my different projects, so as I was explaining to Jaime in the beginning, my writing and investigations, basically, the first book, which is in French, Aptech Ltd, is the one that I wrote when I was living in India. And then when I came to Colombia, I worked on The Habit of Successful Student, which I published in the US. And then now we have also the Spanish version, which is Los Hábitos de los Estudiantes Exitosos, which is being distributed all over Colombia in libraries. And we have the draft of The Legacy, which is this particular book. So this is a draft. We still have mistakes. So I didn't submit to my editor now. She's traveling. And she's the one who guided me to this group, right? Angelica Rojas, that I think a lot. She's the one who edited my books. And finishing also a kind of an independent investigation about marketing. So the area of purposeful marketing, how we can lead growth and success in emerging market through the implementation of corporate social responsibility, because we know that this is a topic that we need basically to make sure that we are going to create a better world. Now, we don't want to go through the process where we have product and services and we try to sell to everybody at the same time, but we are not thinking about how we give back to society and to the planet and so on. So any question, any contribution?
Many, dear Abou. First of all, let me say thank you very much. If you stop sharing your screen so we can see each other.
Sure. Okay, but we have the conclusion over there, but yeah, I'm going to stop sharing the screen for now, and then yeah.
Okay, so finish, because then we have like 6 minutes for final questions, final comments, please.
Okay, so basically, my conclusion would be like, before ending the session, we have to understand that good teachers have a great mastery of the subject, right? So you can develop your subject, whatever you want, but great teachers empower also the student, right? So in the process, to make sure that those people are empowered, here you have my information, my personal information, so email and social networks. In the QR code, I hope it works. You have my profile on the left side, and you have also my portfolio, which is the business portfolio on the right side, so you can scan it. I'm going to share also the link in the chat, so you guys, for those who can't scan the QR code, you can have access to it directly. And merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup, monsieur. Nous sommes enchantés. S'il vous plaît, fermez, je ne sais pas comment tu dis. Merci beaucoup. Okay, thank you so much, dear Abou. When Angelica from Colombia told me about you, I didn't know you were that inspiring. As Rachel said, that students would feel inspired with a teacher like the one in the video. Well, I have felt very inspired by your presentation. I have to say that I love being a teacher, but more than a teacher, an educator, because a teacher just transmits knowledge, but an educator has to be a guide, a facilitator, fair, responsible, honest, polite, inspiring, literate, knowledgeable, open-minded, and so many things. And that was you have moved us to think and reflect and remember about our beautiful job of being not only teachers, but also educators. So thank you so much. I hope to visit you in Colombia someday and get a free copy of your book about habits and signed by you.
Of course, of course, you are the most welcome.
Merci beaucoup. Now we have some. Now we have some time for people who are here. Marina from Argentina, Plamen from Canada, Raj from Canada, Hussein. We have a student from India. Welcome, India. My dear Hussein Omer. He wrote in the chat saying that he was maybe the only student. Well, Hussein, yeah, we are all students. We are all the time learning. We also have Milva Marcela from Peru, Angie, I guess is your friend from Russia, and Jurani Giraldo, and the people who are listening to you and watching us in Facebook Live. So go on, Rache, briefly, please. We only have 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Abou. Excellent presentation. And as you said, you love it because here we are interacting each other and giving our experiences. Definitely, right. As educators, we have a tremendous responsibility, not only to empty, not only to fill an empty mind, but also to affect their lives positively and eternally. Thank you.
And I would add, dear Rache, that we are also affected by our students. Thank God. Otherwise, we would be robots. Thank you for saying that. Marina from Argentina.
Microphone.
Marina, are you going to talk?
Your microphone is not working.
Yes,
okay.
My microphone.
There
I'm sorry. First of all, thank you, Abou. It was amazing. Thank you for your presentation. and the interventions that we create together. And it was a pleasure. I believe that we can build another type of war if we connect on Sunday.
Yeah. By
For
the
other
way,
parts of the world. Thank you, Jaime, for doing that.
no, thank you, dear Marina.
Yeah.
By the way, where do you work, Marina?
Oh, I work as a consultant as Abou in marketing, communication, and sustainability. And also I work at the Catholic University of Cordoba in the business school ICTA, where I coordinate a center about ethic, user, and
So
sustainability.
if
So
you,
we create
so if it is not
we
if it is
collaborate
not
with different organizations.
okay, I would love you contact me, dear Marina, so we can organize maybe a workshop just like Plamen next year. Please, if you wanted to do that, I would love to
Yeah,
have you as a speaker also next
I
year.
just was looking my LinkedIn for give it to you.
So please
It's
send
going to
it
be
to
a pleasure
me.
to connect with everybody.
Yeah, sure, sure. Thank you, dear Marina.
Of course.
Anybody
Thank
else?
you.
Abou, I'm grateful for your presentation. It inspired me to look at my own time wasters and really, because we're all given the same amount of time, how we're using it is crucial. And so a good inspiration to look at time wasters. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raj.
Yeah, that's true. That's true about time. Time. What do we use our time for? Plamen, you want to say something?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much for your insightful presentation, although I came late, but those are eternal ideas. And I think it's also a very good reminder for myself and everybody else that rarely does it happen that we do things in isolation. I mean, our decisions about our own time management implicate others. So it's important for the sake of our students and everybody else around us that we think of the outcome and the implication of our own time management on other people. So it's about this concept of social agency as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear Plamen. Well, anybody else? Maybe before somebody else, maybe Hussein, are you there, Hussein?
Yes, sir, I am there.
Hello, Hussein.
Hello, Hussein.
It was a very good and very wonderful chance that I am suddenly because actually my Facebook is lots of webinars, conferences, and then while I was browsing, I found it in front of me. So really, I am lucky to find this one. And when he was saying that he was in India, wow, that was very amazing. Actually, I am from Arab country, from Yemen country, and I reached India in 2015 doing master and PhD in linguistics. And my PhD now is on the influence of the Arabic English on, the Arabic language on English learning. So like they have the English dialects of by Arab speakers. So I don't want to say that the students are going to commit mistakes or errors in their spoken form. So it's really this also inspiring in somehow, while also I am writing some notes here. Really thank you, Mr. Abou, for this wonderful time that you gave for me and the information. Really, it was informative. And I wish you all the best, and very nice to see your books. I hope if we can see it through online, again, just like to read it as soon as possible. Thank you very much, and I wish to see you again and again. Sure.
Well, dear Hussein, we are the ones who feel fortunate for having you here with us this morning. What time is it in India now? Oh,
it's 9:26 p.m.
Okay, so you already had dinner, haven't you?
Yes, it's raining.
Well, we are about to have in 2 or 3 hours lunch, but in Argentina is lunchtime now. Canada, I guess, is the same. So thank you. So how old are you, Hussein? You are a student, but
I'm actually in my country. I'm a teacher of English language, but I'm not in the idea of like mistaking the students when they speak English. I'm now 39, years
Oh,
old.
well,
Great.
Yes.
very young. I'm just 60. I'm just 21 years older than you, but I feel really honored for having you here. I hope you send me a Facebook request so we can be in contact and you can watch our next webinar. By the way, give me a few seconds, dear Abou. This is our new presentation, our next presentation on October the 8th. We will have Mark Dorr talking about feeling comfortable and having fun with STEAM and STEM. So anybody else who wants to say something, please? No? Okay, it's your time,
Sorry,
Abou.
only
Sorry.
yeah,
Abou?
only to say Abou that I would
Yeah.
like to have his contact because I'm doing a PhD, yes, in education, and I have a classmate whom we are organizing an event. So I would like you to be part of that too, because he lives in Colombia.
Yeah, sure. So basically, yeah, you have my contact that I'm going to share.
Yeah.
But before you need to contact his manager.
Yeah,
Now,
so like
now,
the manager-
now I
Yeah,
am your
now I
manager,
understand,
Abou.
Jaime. So
I'm your
sorry for
manager.
skipping you. And
So
you will be part of that event too.
you
Thank
contact my
you so
manager,
much, Abou. Thank you, Raj. It's been a real pleasure to have you after so long, such a long time, dear Raj. I hadn't seen you. Well, Angie from Russia, and then Abou with your final words today. Oh, nice to see you, Angie.
Thank you. I have some troubles with my camera. I want to thank you very much. And I think this all things very universal, and I'll try to implant it in my practice. I have a lot of challenges in my practice in Asia, in Middle Asia, and in Vietnam, but I'll try to implant it in my teacher's life.
Thank you, dear Angie. And as I said to Hussein, yeah, if you contact me too, it would be the first time we have a teacher from Russia. We haven't had anyone from Russia. So if you, I will send you my WhatsApp number so you could contact me. And if you could, please, if you would like to give a presentation next year, that would be lovely.
Oh yeah, thank you, sir. Actually, so also I want to add something here. Also,
yes, please do.
Publishing chapter books. I'm writing chapter books about English language, like it's as a foreign language in my country, and also how the English language is influenced by the people, and how the English language is getting a very effective impact in the learning processes. I wrote up to now 3 chapter books here in India. And I already have a book, but it still needs to be edited by the group of academics here in the university. So it's like that. And sure, if there is a kind of having like online conference with my university, I can arrange for that also as well here in India.
As I said before, dear Hussein, contact me in Facebook and you will have all the information, okay?
So, okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so now this is your time, dear Abou. Time to say goodbye.
Okay,
Final words today.
Okay. Well, for me, it was an honor to be here. I mean, to share that moment with you. As I was saying in the beginning, I was not here to share any knowledge with you. Actually, I was here to learn from you, as you guys demonstrated during the presentation. You already knew what I prepared, even though I didn't share the slide with you before. Those kind of, I mean, platforms are the one that allow us, we are not native speakers, even native speakers also, to develop more skills, more activities through English language, but at the same time networking, right? So as I used to say, this should not be only a platform for language teachers, but it should be a platform for every single person who uses English to work, right? So from your professional life, from whatever you do. So I'm the one who has to thank you for the opportunity to share that moment with you. And it was a pleasure. So anytime you need me, you have my contact. As you know, so now Mr. Jaime is the manager. So you reach out to Jaime, and then yeah, whatever you want me to be part of that, it would be a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah,
thank you, dear Abou. Thank you, and hope to have you with us back next year. I said next year because we already have speakers till the end of the year. So thank you so much, Abou, Angie, Hussein, Raj, Rache, Plamen, Marina, Milva, Marcela, and Jurani. Thank you, everyone. Have a very nice weekend and see you in a couple of Sundays. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so
Bye,
much,
thank
Abou.
you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for everything.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you
Bye-bye.
for
Thank
everything.
you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Marina.